that got incorporated into my global expats, which I'm still trying to get the funding for, because the corporate ventures, I've examined that all the way from Silicon Valley across the United States, throughout Spain and throughout France. And unless you're one of the big boys in the crowd, then they'll throw you 100 million just for fees.
Otherwise,
if you don't, you can produce the best business plan they've ever seen. You can do all sorts of stuff, and they won't give you a penny. They won't give you the time of day.
Yeah.
So it's really for it's the whole financial and banking structure. It's all just a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. And trying to we do have, though, venture capital in Austin is pretty good, but it's a whole lot though into high tech things. So
yes,
that's very hot in Austin. And then the other thing I want to mention to Austin, one of my best friends sells real estate, and she's a workaholic. But recently, about 6 weeks ago, she started telling me she's getting a huge onslaught of people who are leaving New York City and moving to Austin. We're just a whole lot. And
because of the violence, yes?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, people who are leaving these places, I'm going to stay in ground zero in Washington and when the violence comes, well, then that's why I'll be hitting the streets and going, okay, you guys, yeah, I know, you're right. But please, I got all of the evidence you need. We'll take them to court. We'll do this in a nonviolent way. Because if you murder and rape and pillage all of these homes and all of these people, you become just as bad as them.
That's right. And maybe our crime rate may rise terribly. I mean, that part, the unknown, in 2 months, we may just see this great uptick in crime. But, for now, it's fine. The other thing that brought them is school starts tomorrow. That's the first day of school. So many of them are coming with families, and they want to be here and set so that their children can start school. So.
Yeah, I so one of my best friends in Chicago just got sick and tired with Chicago's raising taxes, the violence here and whatnot, and so he up and left and moved to Jacksonville, Florida, of all places. I'm not sure how he picked that place. Totally different. His wife is from Detroit, and he's from Memphis. So. And their kids are, a freshman and a senior, but they said, sure, we'll move. And so they moved. So, you may see some people getting fed up with the crime in Chicago and heading down there. I know after Katrina, Houston's crime skyrocketed quite a bit. But this is a different.
Winston, how many years have you lived in Chicago now?
26 years.
So and you're going to stay, you're rooted.
I
see if because basically what I'm calling for is a Nuremberg trials too. I mean, I've got, lawsuits up and down, from the bottom of the State Department, the Consular Division, all the way up to Secretary of State. Let's see, Kerry got one, Tillerson got one, Pompeo hasn't gotten one, but he's going to be easy breezy to get rid of. Then the White House, and this is Obama administration. So Biden's up a creek without a paddle because Carrie Bettinger Lopez, his advisor of violence against women is human rights violation, she's going to the international court for covering everything up. So, I mean, Biden come out.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
That she's coming down. I mean, I got all of the goods on her.
I want to see the pictures. Hold on. Wait just a second. Let me see these.
was able to let my sister see them on the phone and talk to them. My mom really was not knowing her surroundings and stuff at that point in time, but and my dad was, but it was very painful, to say the least, to see them like that. But at least with Zoom, I guess my point is technology was helpful, and they were able to see their grandchildren.
Yeah.
Well, Bear and Kira, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't heard from Morgan and Alex since 2015.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's so ridiculous. I mean, I'm sitting on a $10 billion lawsuit, and I can't find any lawyers
Yeah.
with any brains or brawn. I mean, one lawyer looked at me because I worked at the IMF for 7 years. I mean, see, one of the problems that's going on with the racial tension is, and everybody's talking about the discrimination against blacks and browns, but nobody talks about the discrimination against the whites. I'm like, excuse me, you people. I mean, the lawsuit that I have, it's called the Institute for Capacity Development. I worked there for 4 years, but for bullying, for age discrimination, race discrimination, and hate crimes. I mean, two of the landlords that I'm going to be, one's going to get deported because she's from Ghana. The other, she's an African American who was working at GW. She's going to jail with her lawyer and the judge. What they did was totally illegal. But since they were all black and I was white, I mean, it's the same thing that happened to me in Spain. I was the American, he's the Spaniard. I mean, I'm like, you guys, this comes under discrimination. Just because I mean, there was even this Phyllis Chesler. I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Lucy. She's a feminist, big wig. She's got 18 books and counting. She even came to my speech, but anyway, in 2015. But she was raped when she was at the UN by her boss, and everybody convinced her that she shouldn't, you know, go after him because it would be discrimination because he was black and she was white.
Yeah.
And I said, you bought that? Oh no, I'm not buying that.
I'm going to have to go in a few minutes because I have a team meeting, basically a work meeting. But I just wanted to catch up just really quickly. I haven't seen Duran in like 100,000 years, and so maybe not that long. But,
in, you know, my life, everybody's been in lockdown. I've been in lockdown for the past 12 years since I've come back to Washington.
Oh,
so, you know, my thing is, I mean, basically what so that's what my life is, litigation and trying to get some good governance and run all of the bums out of town. I love Lee Iacocca. He says, throw them out of town, get the bums, throw the bums out. I'm like, oh, I got all the names. Believe me, after 12 years, I just keep on racking up names everywhere. As I said, State Department, White House, Congress, IMF, World Bank. They've got a women business and law department. Everybody there is looking at RICO charges. UN Women, same thing. It's Article 6 and 7.
you always should have gone to law school, Quendy. It's a shame you never went to law school.
Lucy, everybody, all of the activists, and this is what I get tired of them. They're like, oh, you should go to law school. I said, yeah, I would win everything. I said, I'm a barrister. I'm not a lawyer. That's why the whole barrister system and the argumentation was invented. There's a whole, knowing all of the procedural things is one thing.
We're going to go to Kendra. It's Kendra's 1 minute.
So
Okay.
wait a second. So wait a second. 7. Okay, Roma statute is
1 minute.
crime against humanity and genocide. Right now with the COVID, they're up in the ante to genocide.
Okay, that's
Okay.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
that's what I
1
do.
minute, Wendy,
Okay.
stop.
Okay,
All right,
Kendra,
You
you're on.
The beauty of telecommunications. I have websites. You can go to kendraskitchen.com.
I'm going.
Established in 1987 in Telluride.
All right.
Everything's on there.
Can
The
I
last-
still order Kendra's Kitchen spices?
Not online. You have to call me because I wanted to get rid of Planet. I'm in this organization, Planet Over Plastics. And I didn't want to do the shipping, and I also wanted to make it very regional, like the Dijon of France, Kendra's Kitchen of Southwest. People come there. I've had a lot of cooking class requests this summer that I've had to turn down because I've been too busy. But just send me an email and I'll send you some seasoning. My manufacturer just went bankrupt, so I'm getting another manufacturer. But anyway, and then I've got Rocky Mountain Rental Retreat, which is I'm down to 2 properties. I have my ag house here in Montrose and my condo, Ski and Scout condo up in Mountain Village.
Yeah, that's
Just
great.
go to the website, make it easy. Today, this was kind of fun. I came across this, and I was a chef for a fundraiser on Mountain Film. And it was a huge article. We raised a lot of money. This is how big the ad is. And it was a photographer for National Geographic that was on it. And Arlene Burns, who is the adventurer, and she was the fill-in for Meryl Streep on The River Wild, which is one of my favorite movies. It's a cinematography of which river is it? I think it's up the Snake River.
You should put that on your website, Kendra.
Yeah, I am, because I just posted this morning 3 years ago about a fundraiser for one-to-one mentoring. But anyway, I came across that, so that's kind of fun. And then I wanted to show you this, Lucy. This is at your wedding. Is it?
Oh.
Lucy?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's so
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of fun. So anyway, that's my life. And the last thing, last big thing with CNN was coming out to film me with the yak industry, which is the environmental, nutritional, and profitability for the 21st century.
Yeah.
But that was postponed on March 2nd because of COVID, and the film producers called me. But what was kind of nice is that my story got to all the big wigs of CNN because they had to like decide what they were going to do.
I think it's Jonathan's turn.
Okay.
No, that's all right. No, Kendra is on a roll here, so
Yeah, let her finish.
I get cut off by Duran all the time.
ow.
Oh.
All right.
So
Okay,
anyway,
Jonathan.
that's my life, but you can keep up with it on my website.
I'm going to go visit. That's awesome. Yeah.
Facebook, I update myself, and I don't have to send the information to my webmaster. Okay. So Let's Facebook. Let's hear from Lucy. What Lucy's doing.
Yes, I would like to hear from Lucy.